That comic podcast.
Welcome back to another issue of That Comic Podcast. I am your host, Features, joined with my other co-hosts. First, we got the enigmatic, the host of horror, Buzzsaw.
Come get some. Halloween's over, but the chainsaws are still out.
There we go. And then, if you heard that laugh, you're hearing the laugh of none other than Lando DePando. Lance.
Cyclops sucks.
Come on, man. You got to change that, all right? He doesn't suck.
Nah.
And he's about to have his own book next year.
Yeah.
You know that.
They're
And it's
desperate.
going to be fire.
They're pushing it. They're pushing it.
All right, X-Men talk aside, we're here today to discuss episodes 1 and 2 of Welcome to Derry. Or should I call it Welcome to Derry, or we just Welcome to Derry?
They both
Welcome
work.
it to Derry.
Welcome to
Welcome
Derry.
to Derry. You know what? that actually might have worked out a little bit better. I don't think they thought that one through. Oh man. Okay, so first of all, let's establish to the general audience who, if they don't know or not aware, what it is. That is so funny.
Yeah.
I think I want to say that a few times during this show. But it is a Stephen King novel focused on the character Pennywise, who we know as It, is Pennywise the Clown. And with this new show, Welcome to Derry, you're pretty much learning the origins and how he came to be in the town of Derry. Which, oh my goodness, I think I've been waiting for this. I'm old.
Forever.
Forever is the probably accurate description. I'm old now.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this for a long time. Because
I'll
the
tell you,
funny
man.
thing is,
I
go ahead.
watched that first one on TV when it came out. The
Right.
90s
Oh, dang.
one. Yeah. That's how old
I
I am.
remember that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's the funny thing. I feel like the people who are drawn into it now, the newer fans, they're being spoiled because they got like all this cool
Yeah.
CG and everything.
Yeah.
We had Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we had Tim Curry, not Tim Curry.
Tim
Is it
Curry's the man.
Yeah, Tim
Yeah,
Curry,
it was
Respect.
Tucker.
and he was awesome. He scared the
Yeah.
hell out of me as It the Clown.
Big same.
Listen, so much so, and I tell this to my auntie one time. I was talking about it. I was like, I watched it in pieces. Then I watched it one whole time, and I was like,
Yeah.
I could never watch it again. Like unless it has to, like a certain amount of time has to pass by, because there's certain scenes in there that still get to me. I'm like, yeah, no, I can't do this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's brutal. It still holds up a little bit. I mean, a lot of people I know my age are scared of clowns because of the Tim Curry Pennywise.
Mhm.
And ironically, it premiered in 1990 as a television serial. So it was basically
Yes.
a movie broke down into a TV series, and now we are watching a TV series on it. So it's kind of heading back that way.
It's sweet. Like it looks amazing in all of the different forms we're getting it right now. And
Yes.
I never know what's gonna pop up to scare me next. And
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've seen a lot of stuff, and I've seen some stuff that people said was scary, and it wasn't. And then I watched the first episode and was like, "Damn, okay." So now,
Right.
now I'm going to work, tell my boss, like, "Yo, man, you see that new episode?" He was like, "Is it good?" I'm like, "Just go watch it."
Yeah, like that's all you can do. You don't want to spoil it for anybody.
No,
But-
it's
so-
that good.
Right. So, all right. So we're here now. So I'm going to ask you guys. We'll round robin. First episode 1 of Welcome to Derry. How do we feel about it? Lance, let's start with you.
All right. So I wasn't super blown away by the first episode. Like it
Okay.
had the gore, it had the scares and everything, but it did feel like a lot of fan service in it, and I thought that was the direction they were going to go. A lot of Easter eggs from like different Stephen King novels and movies and stuff. And I'm like, okay, is this entire show going to be fan service? But by the time it ended, I was like, all right, I want more, but I'm not as excited for the first episode.
Okay.
Lance, I was going to say too, man, you're not wrong for mentioning the fan service, because if I'm not mistaken, when it was announced, they basically were leading into the idea that they were going to do a King universe.
Mm.
So, a year or two, I don't know how many it was, leading up to episode 1 dropping, you kind of knew you were going to get it. You knew you were going to get all these little things, because much like the Marvel U, everybody's got their U now.
Yeah.
If King's got enough material, you can do a King U. They just wrapped Carrie, the remake, and So yeah, you're not wrong for the fan service comment, because it is kind of being done on purpose a little bit. I think because they're trying to do this Stephen King universe, rightfully so.
And you know what? They should 100%. Like if people understood how connected like all of Stephen King's books actually were, I think it would blow people's minds. I think it would really blow their minds.
Oh yeah, I mean, the decades of writing them, how prolific each one was as they, premiered in novel form. My first job was in a library, so naturally I was organizing the horror books first, and that was my first exposure to his stuff. And I didn't read like everything, but the concepts conceptually, like each one being different but similar, also just as twisted as the last. And like it almost, it's kind of like a cult following, I would say, over the last 30 years, or more, 40 years really, or more.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know what? I would agree, even though I've only met like one super King fan. But like
really?
the way he speaks about the books, you go like, yeah, you drunk the Kool-Aid. I know you did. It sounds like it tastes really wonderful. I hope I can get into it. But
I have a buddy that's a King fan, and his life is defined by it. Like everything he does and is into and creates is based on. I've done some commissions for him because of it, and it's pretty neat to see. I actually learned a lot about the connectivity of the material from a friend who's just a diehard fan for years, like before the remake of it and stuff like that.
Yeah,
my dad was a big Stephen King fan, like that caricature type of Stephen King fan, and he just handed me down the novels, and I was just reading them left and right, and I was reading Goosebumps at the time, and then going from Goosebumps to Stephen King, it was a bit of a shift there.
That's a huge shift. Right. My thoughts though on episode 1 was I won't lie, I felt like it started off a little slow, and it almost took me out of it. But then, the end. I was like, all right.
About three quarters in, it's a car wreck.
Yes. and it happens out of nowhere. And I think the best part about it is, I mean, we're 2 episodes in. We can spoil things at this point. I don't. I'm not going to worry too much about that. But I think the most brilliant part about it is we haven't actually seen Pennywise. Technically,
not to what, the last of the second episode, the glimpse or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Like, it's always cool to leave out the big baddie right away. Like the longer you don't see it, the better the anticipation is. It's kind of like a kill scene, and seeing it all play out in front of you is horrific. Not seeing it, your mind fills in that gap.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
like,
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Black Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Black Christmas is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I just watched it the other night with my wife.
Nice.
She had not seen it. She couldn't take her eyes off of it.
I think Welcome to Derry does for me it was a great job, but I'll say an okay job at bringing people in and making you feel like you're a part of the town, because you're experiencing these things happen with the people, like they if I can think back to like how it was when I was watching it, it felt almost like I was a third party to everything.
Yep. Yeah,
you know
they put you in the seat, with the character. You get to know them, right? You get to know like their idiosyncrasies and their daily life,
right?
And then you start to like go down the spiral with them.
Yes,
and a slow start, kind of leads you that way. If it opens with a chainsaw attack, you're kind of like already pushed back.
Yeah.
So if you want to feel bad for these kids getting like diced off quick and easily,
man,
you have to get to know them first and hang out with them, and then when you lose them, you're like, what?
Yeah, just so aggressively.
Yeah.
The craziest part was like the way they got you into these kids' lives. You like you said, Buzz, you felt for them, right? You were with them the whole way through. And then the moment you see them getting just excommunicado off the screen, you're like, wait, I thought these were main characters. What are we doing here? Like,
I think it brings a brutality, right? So there's a brutality to it. So it's not pulling any punches. And if it pulls punches, they get dissed for it. So it's not pulling any punches. So that people will do what? Talk about it. Not to get off topic, but like, Shane getting shot in Walking Dead got people to talk about it.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to do this stuff. You have to kill off a main character right away. And that gets everybody chatting about what's going on.
Now, I would like to ask, would you guys have loved to see like more gore or horror in the first episode than what we got? And I'm not saying that it wasn't enough, because it definitely hit when it was supposed to. But
I think it was the right amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I think it was a good balance. I if you're going to do a Stephen King universe, you're basically going to do like a Derry universe, or North England, New England universe.
Yeah.
Right.
I want you to give me the backstories, give me some of the downtime stuff, so I feel like I'm there. You know what I mean? Like again with Walking Dead, they did it too. It was like you're hanging out in Alexandria, and then all of a sudden, like, they build to a problem. But so I think, like, and also like Alien Earth, it's kind of like pull you into the world, put you into the seat with everybody, and then you get to experience the drop off of the ride. So when I saw the behind, it was like a clip of all the episodes, like a 2 minutes of like spoilers, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh, for Derry?
Yeah, and I was like, oh man, like, we might even get 12 episodes. I was like, this is going to be a while. Like, we're getting into a lot of stuff. I think we're getting 8, which is solid.
Yeah.
But,
Didn't it already get approved for a second season? I think.
I don't think.
I think they actually mentioned a third season if I was watching that new Rockstar videos.
They're going to be in, yeah.
Listen,
there's
I'm
no
here
way.
for it.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's the kind of show with the kind of fandom where they're like, we'll see how season 1 works.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, everyone dresses up like this character. So.
Are we getting in?
Go ahead.
To the second episode? Because I enjoyed it way more.
We will. There is something I want to address about the first episode. When that little baby winged thing busts through the screen and starts ripping the kids to shreds. There was one child who seemed to be
taken out.
Yeah, like they just like left them alone. Like, and there was that one scene, she was reaching for the other girl under the seat, but notice, like, the thing it comes where she is. Yeah. And then when it lunges down, of course they drop out and they're like, all right, we'll see you next episode. But then when it comes to, we find out the other little girl got taken away. Mm-hmm. So I've seen some clips where, and it kind of makes sense, especially if you know like the some of the lore to Stephen King's It. So she had on her charm bracelet the little turtle, which is supposed to be the representation of all things good from the same dimension that it comes from, or Pennywise comes from. So
the polar opposite, yeah.
Right. So some people are speculating that it was because she had that charm on her bracelet, and he probably saw it, and that's what made him stay away from her, but got everybody else. I feel like it feeds on fear, right? So and that's what the military guys were saying. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so the other kids were probably more fearful of it, and so they become like easier snacks,
right?
And so they go after them. You know what I mean? So I love your charm, like Easter egg, but it relates to how it preys. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like the main character.
It's not as entertained by its prey when it's not afraid.
Its power comes from the fear of it.
Right. Right.
No
okay.
So.
No, and I get that, and you're right. Like, even if you look back at the first It movie, not the more recent ones, even at the end, he plays around with them before he even starts to get serious as far as like taking them out. So yeah,
the entity works that way. It's working. It obviously goes after the kid in the beginning. Like he's spiritually weak. He's spiritually weak. So he's an easy target. You know what I mean? Like, he got picked up and went with the family. Like the main girl is like not a chance in your life. Like, back up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. Yeah. It needs to fill up its fear meter so it can release its ultimate ability.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So So let's pick up with episode 2, because right where we left off with with the whole string of events happening at the theater, you have the one child who was actually locked in the real booth, and she had to bang her way out of the door with a hammer. So she survived, and then the other girl survived, and that's the only 2. So now, episode 2, it gets rough.
Yeah,
it gets rough, and still exciting, but it gets rough. I would say definitely, Lance, I'm probably with you. Episode 2 was I don't want to say leaps and bounds, but it definitely is better than episode 1, which I appreciate. It completely dodged the sophomore slump, but episode 2, I think, gave off way more exposition, and I don't want to say not enough horror, but it was a lot more of explaining, and then there were some things that I think were good about it, though, the exposition, because it's definitely leading into the next episode, which I can't wait. All right, but I want to ask you guys. Go ahead.
A lot of character development. We got a lot of more base story of what's going on in Derry. You got to see what's going on with the military compound, and it really leans into that fear factor of it, and why they chose the person they chose. And like, I just really feel from a character and story development, it really made you excited to watch more, rather than the first one where it was like, okay, this is Stephen King episode, and the second episode is Welcome to Derry.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, I could see what you mean.
Yeah,
you'll probably see that throughout the rest of the series. I feel like each episode is going to hit us over the head. I don't know if we'll have too many fillers. There's a lot of writers on this and creators on this, and so I think that there's like, it's almost like it's going to shoot for that like stride that covers all the bases really well.
Yeah,
you already have 4 or 5 storylines going on.
Right.
Characters who are unrelated in the same universe. I mean, I saw a bit the other day that the military character Holleran is connected to The Shining, and it's like, okay, they're building big.
The whole episode had 1,000 Shining Easter eggs. Like, this really did feel like the Shining tribute episode.
Right.
But you know what? And this goes back to saying, like, these are the little nuances and Easter eggs that if you are even the slightest bit of a Stephen King fan, you'll recognize those things and go like, oh my goodness, they're doing it. They're creating. And I'm excited. I want the Stephen King universe. I think in terms, and then Buzz, you can jump in on this one. I think in terms of the horror genre, having an updated Stephen King universe, I think is.
I mean, it's their first time doing it. People who are diehard fans of stuff see the connections before they're really publicly made. It was happening between Blade Runner and Legend and everything that Ridley Scott's doing, and he was like, I'm glad people are finally catching it. So I think this is like, it's awesome because it's deliberate. Now it's deliberate. You know what I mean? And King writing the stuff, like, I'm sure it might not have been like, a pre-plan, something that he was like, this is what I'm going to do. But I guess as you're creating it, it sort of all does like take a little piece from each recipe and make this like 12-course meal that has a little bit of all of it. And it all is like similar, in aesthetic. And so, I mean, I'm for a horror universe. I'm for a horror, King universe. I haven't read a lot of the material. I've read some of it. So I'm excited for it in TV format, movie format. Let's see what they can do. I'm sure they're going to nail it.
We got in the supermarket scene, they showed the baking powder from The Shining like 6 different times.
Like, yo, get this clip. Get this. Here it is again.
Right. Oh, man.
And it was cool seeing all the different kids' faces on the cereal boxes, and then the cereal boxes below had clowns on them as well. Yeah. And it was just like, okay, it's like this is doing this exposition right, because you're getting those Easter eggs, but you're also developing that story with those Easter eggs.
It makes it more watchable. It makes it rewatchable.
Absolutely.
You know, there's things that I've watched. I'm like, nah, don't need a second viewing on that. I got it. You know, I told my wife the other night, I'm like, you want to watch part 2 again? You know, it's this part 2 again because, like, I'm sure I missed something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, listen, I definitely have to rewatch part 2 because, like, again, like you said at the end, when they chose, well, one, let's also, I want to acknowledge, I don't know who they all are, but the writers on the show. I hope they are Stephen King fans because it does seem like they are getting a lot of this information right and piecing it together very well, and a very good clip too. That's two episodes where you are not disappointing at all and are very, very aligned to what we know already, and as far as bringing everything all together. But them having, like, for instance, Will, oh my goodness, what's his last name? The army guy. He's the grandfather of the one guy in the version of Stephen King's that we do know from the first film. So he's the grandfather, and it's crazy now, knowing that. Well, we don't know, but at some point we think that he's going to experience dealing with whether it's going to be known as Pennywise or whether they'll mention it by another name, but you kind of see the deadlights, and he was like, "Oh," and they're like, "Yeah, we just want to make sure you weren't scared." And he's like, "I mean, you could just ask." And I think that's highly interesting because, like, even in the original adaptation of Stephen King's It, at some point people go like, "There is something wrong with this town," and people acknowledge it, but they don't really say what it is.
It's funny because whenever I travel, I'll say to my wife, "This feels like a Stephen King town."
Lake Pontchartrain.
Wow. Yeah. But, where they're going to go from here, I think, is probably even more interesting because I have no idea what it is. I want to tap the minds of like, well, some of my lore heavy King fan guys to, like, yo, what are they going to do? What part of the origin are they going to take it from here? Because I've never heard of it based around the town. I've often heard of the story of Pennywise the Clown through Pennywise the Clown.
Didn't they release a map? Didn't they release a map? It had, like, Derry and all the other towns on it. It was like maybe like a year ago or something when they announced it.
I want to say, for that promotion.
Yeah, like a King universe map where everything happened. All the different books.
I don't know that I've seen that.
I could be wrong about that, but I could have swore I saw, like, a map at some point that showed you where Derry was. It showed you where the Pet Cemetery story was told.
Yeah.
And it kind of had them all marked out. But
that's pretty cool. If that exists, I want one.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a physical item as much as I saw it as a post somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You probably did see it as a post. I just Googled it real quick, but there's a lot of, like, this, like, Reddit posts when they have, like, the "Welcome to Derry" sign, and then you can see where it's located at on the map. So that's actually pretty cool. I'm gonna have to order one.
Yeah, I feel like I said earlier, I feel like they're, it's almost like running a Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Like, the more work you do, the better the adventure.
Yes.
So it's like the more work that's why it takes a while to make this stuff. You wait years for this stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's like the more work you do, like, realizing it, like, it's good to wait. You want it to be good. It's like when they press out a video game, like, right away and it's got all the bugs.
Yeah.
So it's like, take your time, craft it, make it great, so that way it's rewatchable, and you can talk about it for a while.
Every time. You just put a thought in my head that true horror has patience. And if somebody doesn't believe that, look at how Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees operate.
Right.
Those movies aren't
they
even,
walk
those
so
things,
slow.
like, outside those original movies, they get pretty shaky.
Yeah.
People are still hanging on.
But, man.
I really like the direction that the show is moving in with the military digging up what looked like a mobster car.
Yeah.
Like one of those old timey, like, 20s cars with the mobsters in it.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out how that, is going to tie in to what makes it.
Yeah.
Because the way that they're focused on it.
That the family was in?
Oh,
that's a solid point. Yeah.
wow. See, now I gotta rewatch it
All
again.
right.
I totally forgot
You
about
see what
that.
I mean? Like, dude, there could
Yeah.
be something on a piece of paper on someone's desk in a scene, and it probably matters.
Yeah. Man.
I'm telling you, like, I've never really made a movie, but I've looked at the inside of movie making. Nothing is what it seems. Everything
Yeah.
is placed. It could be like the decor for the era, or it could be because it's going to lead. Like, that's what they're doing to you right now. They're putting it all like around it. You're
Dang,
watching
that
the
blew my
story.
mind.
Yeah, and then the other shit happening in the background is the connection.
Yeah,
it's like clues, like Alice in Wonderland in a lot of ways.
Have y'all seen the newer Twilight Zone?
Not the newer one, but I'm a fan of Twilight.
So there's something that happens in every episode that is consistent, and they point it out at the end, and it was just like, oh crap, I missed that the entire time, but it was surely there.
Yeah. That's cool.
Wow,
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, this is. I mean, overall, right now, I would say episodes 1 and 2. Me personally, what's a good rating system? Do we want to do like 1 to 10?
Is it appointment viewing?
You can do like stars if you want.
Yeah,
and I'm giving it a 5-star rating personally, because I think the writing has been phenomenal. I think we've gotten a healthy dose of horror and exposition, because you have to understand the story. Because other than that, you're just watching for blood, guts, and gore, and if you don't get it, then you'll be disappointed. So again, true horror takes patience, and I think they're hitting it right on the nose. And as far as making it a connected universe, so on board for that. Sidebar: if you remember Stephen King's It, the remake, the house that Pennywise the clown appears in the neighborhood, that same house they use in the Dark Tower, or the Gunslinger story. So again, connected Stephen King universe. It is man.
You're not just making like a universe out of hodgepodge characters.
Yep.
Like, this is it's in its inception.
Right.
It's being idealized, like layered. Like layered over each other.
Layered's a great word.
Yes.
Right. And you have the same creator, right? So that's not hard to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you add in all these other creators, and we're going to do this with this guy, and then somebody else comes in, it's like it starts getting convoluted. It's the one creator,
You can tell there's passion behind it.
Oh yeah. And if there wasn't, I think the response to it would show that. But again, they're doing a phenomenal job, and so I want to ask you guys on a 1 to 5 star rating, like, how do you scale this?
I would give the first episode like a 3.5 out of 5, and I'd give the second episode a 4.5. Nice. Like, it's not quite perfect, but it's hitting.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like I'm like right there with Lance. I would like to say that I think like it, these things start slow and then they build to the momentum, and that's like so that when it hits that high note, it's worth it. And I feel like that's what this is going to do. And I don't know if we'll really get like filler episodes with what they have planned. There's a lot of story to tell.
Yeah,
I think they're going to leave us hanging in such a good way, and I hate to be left hanging, but I think they're going to leave us hanging in such a good way. I keep feeling like this is the show to cap off the year. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be the show. There's a lot of good shows that came out this year we've loved. Still talking about, but this is going to be the one that I think is going to keep everybody guessing, keep us talking, and keep the conversation open about what's next. And I feel like a lot of people are going to maybe catch on to it late too. They're maybe not giving it a chance quite yet.
The buzz will pick up the views.
Oh yeah, without question. Because if they're not watching it now, somebody if they're not watching now, somebody's got to come along like, dude, have you checked out Welcome to Derry? Because this shit is crazy. Like,
That's exactly how this is gonna go.
I'm hyped for more. I am excited. I do think it's appointment viewing now. I wouldn't have said that last week, but I think it's appointment viewing for me now.
There we go. Wow. Well, gentlemen, as much as I love hanging out with you guys and talking movies, talking comics, and all the things that we do, I'm going to wrap this up. So you can find us at That Comic Podcast on all forms of social media except for X, which is That Comic Pod. But more importantly, since you've got this far, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Also, tap that bell to alert you that every time we drop something, you get notified. We'd appreciate that, just like we appreciate you watching us. So, once again, I've been Features.
I'm Buzz.
I'm Lance.
And we out.
Next time.
Later.
Excelsior.
That's that. And that's that. That's that.